that empowers creatives, business, talents, and also enriches culture. We're here today because we can no longer ignore the glaring anomaly of potential that grips our creative sector. The numbers speak for themselves. About 60% of Africa's young population are under the age of 25. And we are also one of the fastest growing music region on the continent, with a 22.6% according to the IFPI Global Music Report for 2025. This potential is undeniable, yet here's the reality. Despite this energy, this young energy, this vibrant energy and growth, the continent still captures less than 2% of total global creative revenue. This disparity is not due to a lack of talent. It's a direct result of systemic structural deficits in education, finance, and policy. These are the very barriers that Amedi aims to dismantle through its 5-year strategic plan. Our mission is to build the essential infrastructure for Africa's creative economy, moving from the sector of potential to profitability. Amedi is not an experiment. It's a proven de-risk intervention built upon a powerful legacy. It stands on the success of its foundation of the Music Business Academy for Africa, which is now the Creative Business Academy for Africa, which was developed by the founder, Godwin Tong. Also a product of that program. In the house, I can see a couple of products. I can see the Senior Operations Manager at Sony Music Publishing. I can see the Head of Content, the Head of Content, I'll just call him that, Wale Ozolua. These, among others, are just a few of what this program actually means to us, creating impact. I mean, because of this program, I would say I've been gainfully employed in the music industry for about 5 years now. And I came as a novice, I came as a nobody who's lacking the confidence, and my boss, Mr. Godwin Tong, gave me that confidence to be able to stand on my own and also support an impactful initiative as the CBA for Africa. This successful program, the CBA for Africa, has successfully trained over 1,500 professionals, not just in Nigeria. I'm talking about year on year, we are seeing an increase in registrations from Kenya here on the continent. We have about 1,500 professionals who are now driving global change, leading global companies such as Sony Music Publishing, Warner Music, Maven Global, AudioMac, Paramount. All of this confirms the power of the educational model that we are trying to share with you guys today. And all I'll say is you're here for something more impactful that our founder is going to talk about. And yeah, thank you. And you're welcome.
Let's put our hands together one more time for Assistant Programs Director. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. That's more like it. Hi, everyone. My name is Nisi, and I'm the project manager for Creative Talent Foundation, which is the mother for CBA, which used to be MBA. So this morning, I'm going to read out our introduction for our keynote speaker. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together for our keynote speaker. Please put your hands together for him. He's done an amazing job of recording a virtual address, even though he's not going to be here. And I'm just going to read out his bio. Our keynote speaker today is one of Nigeria's most distinguished voices in the creative and cultural industries. He is a visionary leader, ecosystem builder, and tireless advocate for the power of African creativity. Mr. Obi Asika, the Director General and CEO of the National Council for Arts and Culture, has spent over 3 decades shaping the growth of Nigeria's creative economy. He founded Storm 360, one of the entertainment companies that helped usher in the first wave of global success for African artists. He also co-founded Social Media Week Lagos, which is now Africa's leading platform for technology, creativity, and innovation. Beyond industry leadership, Mr. Asika has been instrumental in shaping national creative policy, serving on over 15 federal committees and championing initiatives that integrate culture, innovation, and economic development into Nigeria's long-term agenda. Though he's unable to join us physically today, he has graciously recorded a keynote address titled The Need for Education, Policy, and Investment in Nigerian and African Music Markets. Please put your hands together for Mr. Obi Asika. So while we wait, I see some alumnus in the crowd, like Uzo, who is now the senior operations lead at Sony Music Publishing, and Wale Ozolwa, who is at Audiomack. So I'm just going to call Wale up very quickly to just talk about his experience with MBA, which is now CBA. And then once he does that, we'll be able to see our keynote speaker's address. So please put your hands together for Wale Ozolwa, everyone. Thank you very much. Please don't stop clapping until he gets here. Thank you. You look nice.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and good morning. Oh, sorry. My name is Wale Ozolwa. Jesus, where do I start? I came into the music industry by chance and by luck. But then I started off with zero idea as to what exactly I was going to do, why I was doing it, and how I was going to do it. Excuse me. Half of what I know now, no, sorry, not half. 80% of what I know now, I picked everything from listening to fellow students, teachers, including Godwin Tom, as a member of the 2020 cohort for the then MBA for Africa, now CBA for Africa. And that particular phase of my life, to be honest, I did not think I was going to be able to unlock it. Before I came into the business, I used to be a radio presenter with Beat FM Ibadan. So I went from playing music to selling music, and now I'm the content operations and artist services manager for Audiomack in Africa. And that transition from radio to music streaming was only made possible by being a student of CBA. And to be honest, would I do it already? I think from 2020 to now, we've been cheated. If you know any member of the 2020 cohort, and I thank God I'm saying this in front of Mr. Godwin Tom, the curriculum in 2020 and the curriculum now, my God, is different. So it's painful, you know. And I'm still thinking about registering for this year's one because yes, and here's why. Now the curriculum has been expanded to incorporate every single aspect you can think of when it comes to the creative economy, especially for Africa. And there is it's a no-brainer to say that, oh, yes, because I did it in 2020, I can get, learn new stuff in 2025 going into 2026. And the fact that this is the only standing structure for education within the creative scene in Africa, it says a lot as to how much work has gone into expanding and introducing a proper curriculum that puts Africa on the map when it comes to the creative economy across the world. And thank you to Godwin Tom. Thank you to my fellow 2020 cohorts. And I have so many things I want to say, but man, I would not be here holding this microphone if not for being a student of the 2020 Music Business Academy for Africa. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Wally. That was a fantastic speech. So we're good to go with our keynote speaker's address, and here we go.
Good morning. My topic today is the need for education, policy, and investment in Nigerian and African music markets. My name is Obi Asika, Director General, National Council for Arts and Culture. Unfortunately, I'm not with you physically, but it's my absolute pleasure to deliver this keynote for my friend and brother, Godwin Tom. Good day, everybody. All protocols observed. Ministers, chiefs, government leaders, CEOs, public sector, and diplomatic leaders. It's a pleasure to be with all of you today, and it's a great privilege to speak about something I have lived, built, and believed in all my life, music. Music is our rhythm. It's our export, our diplomacy, and our story to the world. From Lagos to London, Accra to Atlanta, Johannesburg to Tokyo, the Nigerian sound has redefined the global soundscape. But even as we celebrate this incredible success, we must ask ourselves, how do we move from influence to industry? How do we turn creativity into curriculum and talent into long-term opportunity? These are key questions that will enable us to move forward. So how do we move? For anybody who has worked in the Nigerian music industry, you will know, or in the creative industries in general, you will know that a lot of our people have natural talents. And what I say is a lot of it is intuition. So how do we move from intuition to structure? What has brought us here is raw intuition and passion. What will take us forward is education, structure, and policy. That's what the work we're doing through the NCAC, through some of our programs and initiatives, such as the Council for Creative Technology Futures. Our mission is to enable capacity, to connect the tech and innovation startup ecosystem with our music, film, and entertainment industries. We are building bridges between developers and drummers, between coders and composers, because the creative future of Africa lies at that intersection. Through ICE, Innovation, Creativity, and Entrepreneurship, and CLAP, the Creative Leap Acceleration Program, we are preparing the foundation for a nationwide creative capacity framework. Let me be clear, ICE and CLAP are pre-launch in essence, but they are fully developed and ready to go live. We've done the groundwork, we've done the mapping. In fact, working with Versailles, the consulting firm, we've completed a national mapping of 10 core creative sectors, from music and film to fashion, design, gaming, and culinary arts. And this work now sits at the core of the ministerial roadmap for Nigeria's creative economy. That mapping has shown us exactly where we must push capacity building, how to align our training, policy, and investment to match real market needs, and brings us to the Nigerian Music Intervention Strategy, which NCAC has been building. And the center of all of this is that National Music Intervention Strategy. We're developing the templates for a National School of Music and National Center of Excellence, modeled on global institutions such as the Berklee College of Music and the University for the Creative Arts in the UK, who are already partners with us. This will be a world-class hub for performance, production, business, and sound technology. We will also be dealing with the historiography of African music, Nigerian music, not just the today's story, but the backstory, the last 1,000 years, the influence, the academic side, was really bring together for the first time a world-class institution in Nigeria that puts music, live performance, dance at the elevated level and pedestal that it needs to be at, not just as vocation, but as occupation at the highest level. A place where young Nigerians can learn the art, master the craft, and understand the business. Because we're not just building stars, we're building a music economy. This is critical. And it's also critical to understand that education is infrastructure. When we talk about infrastructure, we won't think about roads, bridges, or power. The first and most important infrastructure is human capital. Through ICE hubs in every state, which is our ambition, we're creating spaces where creativity meets opportunity. Through CLAP, we will drive acceleration programs that take talent from learning to earning. These initiatives are designed to make education practical, to turn skill into business and business into sustainable growth. At this juncture, I want to commend Godwin. And as we talk about education and structure, I must pause to recognize him, who's a remarkable leader, a young man who has been pushing this agenda for well over 10 years. Gordon worked with me maybe 15 years ago, but through the Music Business Academy for Africa, which is one of his brands, it's been one of the earliest and most successful efforts to bridge the gap between talent and training. Through that program, he has trained over 1,500 young Africans, many of whom now work with major companies in the ecosystem, from Sony Music and The Orchard to Maven Global, Chocolate City, and Warner Music. Today, he's expanded that vision through the Creative Talent Foundation and the African Music Ecosystem Development Initiative, AMEDI. I have supported his journey through the years, and I remain proud of what he continues to achieve, because this is exactly what we want to see more of. Visionaries who build systems, not just songs, institutions, not just initiatives. His work perfectly aligns with our mission at NCAC to scale capacity, formalize opportunity, and connect our creative industries to the national economy at the core. In terms of policy and investments, education prepares people, policy protects them, and investment propels them. Let me say that again. Education prepares people, policy protects them, and investment propels them. We need all three to move forward. We've just completed the first music industry report that will be published by government, and when it comes out, you will see that we have estimated the 2024 size of the music industry at just north of $700 million, just under $800 million in 2024. That tells you that, and this has happened without focused investment from government, without institutional support, but with the agenda and the focus coming from global players, global labels, and the startup entrepreneurs all over Nigeria who are believers and passionate supporters of the movement that today is known as Afrobeats. I'm privileged to be one of them, and that journey for the last 20 years or 25 years, 30 years for some of us, has brought us to a place where we are no longer seeking to validate the show. This is show business, we're not validating the show. But today, we are validating the show, but now we need to be about the business. And to be about the business, we must sort out the education. And that means new frameworks for publishing, copyright, and royalties, so our creators can earn fairly at home and abroad. It means seeing the creative sector as a legitimate asset class, one that can attract banks, telcos, fintechs, venture investors, insurance companies, asset management companies, patient capital. And that's why the minister is working with partners like the Ministry of Finance Incorporated, the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Afrexim Bank, and AFDB, and all sorts of partners who can come to the table, bring capacity, bring capital to enable us to grow our ecosystem to arrive at our target of $100 billion per annum in this sector by 2030. To build creative finance models that turn our ideas into industries is the next phase of where we sit. This requires us to collaborate deeply with the finance sector, with the development sector, and of course with the public sector. And we are doing all of these things whilst at the same time working with the private sector and the core music industry to arrive at an agreed roadmap and intervention strategy to look at the levers that need to be pushed to enable this ecosystem to grow. And definitely education and infrastructure, especially human capital development and developing the locations that will give us these people that have not just intuition, but full talent and depth to really push forward to the next generation and push us through. The future of African music will not be written elsewhere, it will be written here. In our classrooms, in our studios, and in our policies. We have the talent, we have the stories, now we must build the systems. To Godwin Tom, congratulations once again. Your work is proof that one person with vision and discipline can ignite a whole ecosystem. And to everyone listening, policymakers, investors, educators, and creators, the time is now. Let's build the Africa and Nigeria we imagine, one note, one beat, and one learner at a time. Thank you very much. Thank you for listening. And please understand that as we move forward, as much natural talent as we have, it is time to codify our talent, our skills, and our knowledge to give ourselves the power to propel us to the next level so we can arrive at a $2.5 billion Nigerian music industry by 2030. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the audience. Thank you. Good morning.
Please let's put our hands together once again for Mr. Obiasika. And now I'm bringing up the man, the myth, the legend, the reason for the season, the reason why we're all here. Please put your hands together for Godwin Tom. Please don't stop coming until he gets here. Woo!
Thank you. I think that for a long time we've put our money where our mouth is, right? We've tried to build something, and today is part of my mantra. You don't wait until you're ready. You start. If it's needed, you start, and you build the ability to start a thing. So what we're doing here today is hoping that you believe with us, essentially. So welcome to the Impact Symposium. This will happen every year. Every year, we're going to bring our stakeholders together and tell them what we've done with the money they've given us, how we've done it, and the impact that money has created. So this is the first one, and it's called Impact because our campaign for the year, going into the new name of the program, is Impact. And so over the next 1 year, we're going to develop content that will tell our story. So we're going to start this speech now, shall we? Good morning, our esteemed guests, partners, leaders, and the brilliant creative minds who are here with us today. Welcome to the Impact Symposium. We are gathered at a remarkable moment. The rhythm of Africa is reshaping the global creative landscape. Sub-Saharan African music has grown by over 25% in the last year, making it the fastest growing region in the world. Our creativity is setting the agenda. And today is a celebration of this explosive growth. But it must also be a day of honest reflection on the journey ahead. The imperative, what I call the potential and paralysis. Why are we here? Because Africa is the youngest continent on Earth. Over 60% of our population is under 25, and by 2030, 42% of the world's youth will be African. This is the most significant demographic dividend the world has ever seen. But this incredible potential is paralyzed by systemic barriers. We face what I call the paradox of potential and paralysis. We have the talent, but 70% of our creatives lack formal business skills. There is a profound lack of industry-specific education, as fewer than 5 universities on our entire continent
offer music business management programs. There are, just to put it in context, there are 1,600 of them, over 1,600 universities, and only 5 offer music business. And they don't offer music business management. It's, maybe we run a music program, so we have a course. That's a big concern. This leads to weak IP enforcement and severe market fragmentation. The result? Africa captures only 2% of global music revenue and receives less than 1% of global music investment. Because let's be honest, if you don't know what you are doing, you cannot build a business. If you do not build a business, you cannot make money. If you do not make money, nobody gives you investment. If there's no investment, policy is pointless. So this is not a talent deficit issue. It's a structural deficit in education, finance, and policy. This challenge is why we started our journey. In 2017, we started an internship program, which grew into the Music Business Academy in 2020. We built it from the ground up, based on real-world needs of our industry. Over the last 5 years, we have proven that our model works. We have trained over 1,500 students. They are now active industry shapers at companies like YouTube, Sony Music Publishing, The Orchard, AudioMac, Maven Global, and more. They proved that when you equip raw talent with business skills, you will create leaders. So we're going to witness some of the transformation. Are the videos ready? Just give me a thumbs up if I just continue reading. Okay, fantastic. Please go ahead with the testimonials. Thank you.
To be honest, it was either the
MBA program did for me was to basically shine light on areas of my life and answer some questions that I had not answered about myself.
The experience for me as an trader while I was managing an asset, it was just like working in the dark for me until I found MBA. They knew that there was something called like being a music professional.
So I told my family that I wanted to do music, and it was like, okay, this music thing that you want to do is a big mistake. I put everything on the line for when I joined MBA for Africa, and it was a good gamble.
I'm very grateful for the MBA because I wouldn't have known any of these things. I would have just been on vibes. The way I said, I was on vibes.
So is anyone will tell you that MBA for Africa is the most advanced music business curriculum in Africa, and I even dare say the world. We're not joking.
So I think what MBA does is like a 1 in a million thing, in the sense that it is contextualizing all these nuances in an African context.
I was coming from a place where I had no knowledge, zero knowledge about how the industry works. And then getting into MBA was just the best of both.
With MBA covers all the grounds. Like there's no information you would need that you wouldn't be able to find here.
People say that it's a simulation, but it's actually real life. It's actually real stuff, because the same hurdles that you face in the real world is what we face. I just knew that this was different.
I thought it would be easy peasy, you're smart enough to find a way to, but it's not, right? Because the program itself is very hectic and it's necessarily hectic.
When we were doing the program, it got to a point where it kind of became more difficult. So from about 40-something people in a group, we're now like 10.
So GT just made us know that then that way, it was like, yo, this is not a child's play.
That's why I feel like MBA is a really good program, because it kind of helps you navigate your way, gives you a soft landing into the industry, basically.
Yeah.
I think one thing MBA helped with a bit was actually developing certain networks, African music industry networks outside of just Nigeria.
The access that we had to certain people that would come weekly to teach us it wasn't easy to meet those kind of people. And those people while they were dropping gems for us and everything, they're also giving us their personal contacts, which is not something that you can find.
So there's a saying that we have in talent that anything you want to find in the music space, there's an alumni that you can get to do that.
Good evening. I want you guys to take a moment and just look around. Just look at the faces to your left and look at the faces to your right. I want to say to you that you're not just looking at your classmates. You are looking at the new vanguard of a global cultural renaissance. So that's their story. Essentially, we wanted to show you some of the lives that this model has changed and the foundation we're building upon. So those were their testimonials. But over the last 7 to 10 years, we have built quietly, slowly, but impactfully. In 2026, we will tell our own story. So we started shooting our documentary, and it should be ready next year. Are we good? All right, fantastic. So we'll just show you a trailer, just a clip.
To be honest, it was either the MBA or nothing. MBA for Africa was like a make or break. My career was at stake, literally.
I mean, there's no need to think about the impact of MBA so far.
My whole career exists.
The whole journey for me honestly has been crazy. It wasn't what I expected.
Every day came one headache or the other.
We have these things called curveballs. So the curveballs are supposed to make it into it. Budgets are slashed.
Like
Just like real life. Sometimes it's a lot for students to manage, but that's the way life is. Industry is very brutal.
MBA is the project that people never believed in. People thought it was a senseless labor of love. People thought that it was not the right thing that music needed.
I had to convince myself that this was a good idea because it was a bad time. We were over 100 proposals. Sent out over 100 proposals and we didn't get any money. And this is how it all began. My name is Godwin Tong. I'm the managing director for Sony Music Publishing Nigeria, but I'm also the founder of the Music Business Academy for Africa. Thank you. What you have just seen is the proof of concept. The Music Business Academy for Africa showed us what is possible when we address the education gap. But a standalone program is not enough. That's the truth. Graduating skilled professionals into a fragmented informal market only leads to frustration and talent migration. We have students from our program. Every year I get at least 10 requests for talent visa applications from students. So we're training people, but they're leaving. But we also cannot build a marketplace without bankable talent. Nor can we retain talent without a marketplace. So we need a systemic intervention. The African Music Ecosystem Development Initiative, AMEDI. Today we launched that intervention. And as I said, we don't wait until we have everything we need, we start. AMEDI means welcome in Ibibio language. I'm from Akwa Ibom. And this is the foundational principle of this project. It's a welcome to talent. It's a welcome to opportunity. It's a welcome to Africa to the global stage as a structured economic player. AMEDI is a comprehensive 5-year blueprint, which will run from 2026 to 2030, designed to transform Africa's creative industries into a globally competitive, economically vibrant, and sustainable sector. AMEDI is an integrated dual-pronged strategy engineered to break the cycle of informality and simultaneously build human capital and market infrastructure. We are solving the chicken and egg problem, if you put it that way. Pillar 1 is our 5-stage talent development pipeline. This is a comprehensive system to nurture individuals from initial curiosity to industry leadership. It moves from stage 1, our awareness tools, and stage 2, our foundational boot camps, to stage 3, which is the Creative Business Academy for Africa, which is the core, forging industry professionals. We then elevate talent through stage 4, which is an elite master's program, cultivating C-suite executives and strategic architects. Finally, we connect them through stage 5, the network, a lifelong ecosystem of collaboration. This pipeline ensures we develop the full stack of human capital, both skilled operators and strategic leaders. Pillar 2 is our suite of ecosystem activation platforms. This is the market infrastructure where talent can connect, transact, and thrive. It includes the African Music Directory, or the TAM Directory, the digital backbone and marketplace for our industry. It also includes the Impact Symposium, our annual nexus for policy and investment. And it includes the African Music Business Festival, or TAM Fest, the premier convergence point for commerce and celebration, where our graduates meet the industry and where deals are made. The innovation of Amedi is this integration. The talent forged in the pipeline secures deals at the festival and populates the directory. The market intelligence from festival refines the curriculum. It is a self-reinforcing flywheel, creating accelerating momentum towards a formalized economy. So we're going to talk about our 5-year investment and sustainability. While this solution cannot be built by us alone, we are committed to contributing our data and knowledge to build this comprehensive human and market infrastructure over the next 5 years. The total foundational investment required is $2.68 million. This is not a recurring subsidy. It is the strategic capital required to unleash decades of sustainable growth. We are building a template and to generate an estimated 50,000 direct and indirect jobs, creating ripple effects throughout the entire industry. This investment is strategically allocated. Approximately 60% of the budget will fund the human capital development pipeline, powering the CBA as well, the master's program, and the boot camps. The remaining 40 will build the ecosystem activation platforms, launching TAMFest, the directory, and the symposium. We are also committed to driving systemic change at the regulatory level. And thank you to our guests from representatives of the government. By leveraging intelligence gathered from the symposium and research conducted through the Human Capital Development Pipeline, we pledge to publish one impactful policy white paper each year to guide governments, or hopefully be in conversations with governments and stakeholders in fostering an enabling environment and a more vigorous IP enforcement. This is our contribution. Amedi is designed to transition from grant dependency to a diversified revenue generation model. But let me be clear about our definition of success. The ultimate evidence of this project's success will be that in 5 years, it is no longer needed. Our goal by 2030 is to foster a thriving ecosystem of profitable, tax-paying creative businesses that sustain the sector through standard market mechanisms, such as private investment and economic growth, rather than reliance on grants. We are here to build an industry, not a perpetual initiative. While the vision is vast, we must start by fueling the engine. Today, our focus is on launching stage 3 of the pipeline, the Creative Business Academy for Africa. The CBA is the evolution of the proven MBA model you saw from the testimonials. It is the flagship program designed to forge professionals and entrepreneurs who will drive this ecosystem forward. It is an interdisciplinary powerhouse integrating music business management, film for music, fashion in music, and talent development. We emphasize learning by doing, culminating in real-world projects and a talent development program that produces market-ready creative assets. This investment generates a powerful ripple effect for society. It tackles youth unemployment and drives economic diversification, aligning with SDGs 1, no poverty, and 8, decent work and economic growth. For partners, it offers success and access to exceptionally trained talent and tangible impact. Those testimonials you heard were from representatives of the 1,500 students we've trained. We trained them with passion, determination, and a fraction of the resources this vision truly demands. We have proven the model. Today, the proof of concept isn't over, but it is time for us to scale. So I extend a call to action to everyone in this room. We're not asking you to fund a theory. We're inviting you to become co-architects in scaling a proven high-impact solution. Partner with us to launch the CBA 2026 cohort, the engine of Amedi, and we will achieve these critical scaling goals. Goals that will help us scale to 1,000 business and creative professionals to be trained in 2026 across Africa, with Nigeria representing 70% of the participants. Goals that will help us expand access by launching new French and Swahili language tracks to empower new creative economies in Africa. Goals that will help us grow our world-class facility and faculty and program team to manage this expansion. And goals that will help us launch hybrid classes in key regions to build powerful, interconnected local communities. We have built the proof of concept. Now we have come to you to build the future. Invest in the engine, invest in the ecosystem, invest in impact. To launch this crucial engine, the 2026 cohort of the Creative Business Academy for Africa, we have an immediate funding need of $500,000. This is the first step in realizing the 6.2 million Amedi Blueprint budget. This investment features a unique dual return model. 60% of it builds long-term human capital through core program costs for faculty, curriculum, equipment, learning management systems, student locations for classes, regional and language expansion, and management. Crucially, 40% generates immediate market-ready cultural assets. This is direct investment to the talent development program, funding the production of albums, music videos, and workshops. This is an investment in education and creative output. The selected talents will benefit from this as they can start their careers and earn without being tied to limited contracts. And we have proof of this. We have artists signed across, Mighty Youth from our program is now signed to Davido's label and is being heavily pushed. He's also signed to Sony Music Publishing. Zaki Amuje, who we signed from the program directly to Sony Music Publishing, was given an advance that was supposed to be recouped in 3 years, and he recouped in a year. And we've given him more money. And these things are happening, and we see that what we're doing works. For every talent that experiences mild success, 3 to 10 people are employed. So if 1,000 artists in the digital era experience relative success, who will train the 3 to 10,000 people? The Creative Business Academy for Africa will. So let's build this creative future together. Thank you. For those who would like to download this explanation that I just gave, feel free to use the QR link on the screen. Thank you very much. And I think, okay, I'm the one that's supposed to do the rest, Abby. Oh, sorry. The truth is that we know what we're doing. I think at the end of what we're hoping to achieve is, we were doing the math. I was doing the math with the accounting and finance team over the last 5 years, and we've spent over $1 billion getting to this point. And obviously, $1 billion sounds ridiculous, but this 200 million here, 150 million here, and some of it is my money. And I say that because whenever I do a thing, I want to make sure that you see that I'm committed. You see that I mean it. And I think we've done a great job in the last 5 years, actually in the last 8 to 10 years. And we've grown this over time. But I cannot do this alone. And I'm at a point now where I have to sit back and think, how do we scale this? Now I've shown that this thing works. My people are everywhere. there are MBA students everywhere. I kid you not. I am in Tanzania in a conference. Somebody taps my back. Hi, Mr. Godwin, I'm your student. I am in Nairobi. Somebody taps me. I'm in Johannesburg. I'm in Malawi, Zimbabwe, Zambia, Ghana. We have so many students in Ghana. They actually charter buses to come for every graduation that we have. And as much as I panic every year when I'm about to put money in, because I have to have a conference with my wife to explain to her why I'm putting another $100,000 of my money into this, it's become very apparent that this is needed. And I'm at a point now where I'm coming to you to say, help me. And there's money we need, yes, but there's also partnerships. There's access. Thankfully, there's somebody who already told me there's a fund that will help us buy equipment. Things like that, we're open to having all these partnerships. And that's why we called this meeting today. So please, if you do have any questions, before we call it a day, I think we've done a great job we wanted to make sure we're out of here by 12:30. So if you do have any questions, please feel free. I'm available to answer any questions that you may have based on what you've read today or heard today, or based on any thoughts that you have about the program. So that means I explained it very well. Well, thank you very much. We do have some light refreshments. We know we kept some of you from breakfast to lunch, and it would be disrespectful to not give you something to chew on. So please feel free to also catch me in case you didn't want to ask publicly. To catch me when we finish, and I'm available for the next 30 minutes or so that we're all here to answer any questions that you have. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it.
The one and only Godwin Tom.
It's good to have a daughter that I see you. Thank you very much. So we're done. So please feel free to